Hello, my name is Colton Cortain, and this is 300 versus the actual Thermopylaean War. So, let's get started.
When the boy was born, like old Spartans, he was inspected. If he'd been small or puny, or sickly or misshapen, he would have been discarded.
This was very true. In their tradition, if a child was imperfect in any way, they would toss them off the side of a cliff. Which means they didn't even have that big of a population.
From the time he could stand, he was baptized in the fire of combat. Taught never to retreat, never to surrender. Taught that death on the battlefield in service to Sparta was the greatest glory he could achieve in his life. At age 7, as is customary in Sparta, the boy was taken from his mother and plunged into a world of violence. Manufactured by 300 years of Spartan warrior society to create the finest soldiers the world has ever known. The agoge, as it's called, forces the boy to fight, starves them, forces them to steal, and if necessary, to kill. By rod and lash, the boy was punished. Taught to show no pain, no mercy. Constantly tested, tossed into the wild. Left to pit his wits and will against nature's fury. It was his initiation, his time in the wild. For he would return to his people a Spartan. Or not at all.
This is all true for a Spartan childhood. They would go through every single test, be trained to be a warrior in every single way, and finally, when they're old enough, go through initiation. And like he said, either come back alive or don't come back at all.
Before you speak, Persian, know that in Sparta, everyone, even a king's messenger, is held accountable for the words of his voice. Now, what message do you bring?
Earth and water.
We rode all the way from Persia for earth and water.
Do not be coy or stupid, Persian. You can afford neither in Sparta.
This conversation shows how equal Spartans believed everyone was. No matter who you were, as Leonidas said, you are held accountable for your words.
A simple offering of earth and water, a token of Sparta's submission to the will of Xerxes.
Submission. Now that's a bit of a problem. See, rumor has it, the Athenians have already turned you down. And if those philosophers and boy lovers find that kind of nerve, then...
We must be diplomatic.
And of course, Spartans have the reputation to consider.
What he's talking about is that he has seen others who have not complied to Xerxes' will. And that if a bunch of, as he says, boy lovers could turn down a powerful god, then so shall they.
Madman. You're a madman.
Earth and water. But you'll find plenty of both down there.
No man, Persian or Greek, no man threatens a messenger.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death. Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, Persian. Perhaps you should have done the same.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
Madness. This is Sparta!
I'm sorry to say, but this didn't exactly happen. They did kill the messenger by shoving him down a well, but not a giant, endless hole in the ground. This is because it was a huge safety hazard to the children. Before Leonidas could summon his army and go to war, he had to first get permission from the oracle. This man, along with a few others, are the mystics, and apparently they are before Spartan's time. Somehow they were diseased with who knows what, and why they were accepted in Spartan culture I have no clue, because like I said in the beginning, Spartans dumped any imperfect children over a cliff. And in my eyes, this is about as imperfect as you can possibly get, lest you be quadriplegic, and retarded, and deaf, and blind. I don't think there is anything worse than that.
Full moon approaches.
The sacred and ancient festival. Sparta wages no war at the time of the Carnea.
Sparta will burn! Her men will die at arms, and her women and children will be slaves or worse!
Now, we will block the Persian coastal assault.
What he was talking about, the Carnea, it was a festival where it was a 4-day festival where Sparta could not wage any war during the full moon in August, which also made them very vulnerable at this time.
Is this all of them?
As you ordered. 300. All with born sons to carry on their name.
Leonidas, knowing he probably wouldn't survive the attack, called in 300 of his best men and made sure they had heirs to carry on their name.
My good king, the oracle has spoken.
The ephors have spoken. There must be no march.
It is the law, my lord. The Spartan army must not go to war.
Nor shall it. Others should know such orders. I'm here, just taking a stroll, stretching my legs. These, 300 men are my personal bodyguard. Our army will stay in Sparta.
He used his 300 bodyguards to get around him not being able to bring his army during the Carnea, which also in turn technically followed the Oracle's word. I'm so tired.
Come back with your shield. Or on it.
This more than likely actually happened, where she pretty much told him, come back alive or dead. In the movie, the Spartans find one band of misfit warriors. Just carpenters and painters. While in real life, they met many rebels that wanted to join the Spartans against the Persians and Xerxes. The Spartans found many towns like this on their way to Thermopylae, mostly burned by, as he said, just Persians.
Scouting party. But these footprints.
This tree of bodies was meant to warn anyone who came across it that to betray Xerxes was to mean you'd give up your life.
These hills swarm with our scouts. And do you think your pathetic wall will do anything except fall like a heap of dry leaves in the face?
It is not known if the Greeks made a wall of bodies to funnel the Persians into the Hot Gates, the Thermopylae Pass. But historians do know they did make a wall.
By noon this day, you will be dead men. 1,000 nations of the Persian Empire descend upon you. Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Then we will fight in the shade.
That conversation, by the best of my knowledge, actually did happen on the battlefield. As the first wave hit the Spartans, they held their ground in the pass and were actually able to defeat the 50,000 Persians in the first wave, with the Greeks' numbers only rising to 1,000, 50 to 1.
Let me guess. You must be Xerxes.
Xerxes saw himself as a god king, and for his only desire to be for anyone and everyone to bow down to him.
Let us reason together. It would be a regrettable waste.
He granted anyone's desires, whether it be money, woman, anything. All you had to do was kneel before him and submit. The second wave came, called the Immortals, which the Spartans defeated with few casualties. Wave after wave of enemies came, and the Spartans just keep fighting them off, which made Xerxes, the god, very, very ticked. Back in these times, animals were often used in wars. They were also used in entertainment and expeditions as well. Side note: why Xerxes thought elephants on the side of a cliff was a good idea, we shall never know. And hopefully never will, because that is some dumb thinking. This man, Ephialtes, was a traitor to the Spartan army. Well, just a second, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to go to sleep. It's 1:37 AM. Oh my god. This is going to the bloopers. If you're wondering why this man is like this, first off, he is a Spartan. Second off, his parents hid him away when he was a child, so he wouldn't get cast off. When Leonidas declined Ephialtes' offer to join his army, Ephialtes betrayed the Spartans and went to Xerxes. In return for gold, money, and a suit, Ephialtes gave Xerxes the hidden path around the Spartans.
Spartans never surrender.
Go spread the word. Let every Greek assembled know the truth of this.
Let each among them search his own soul.
While you're at it, search your own.
In the movie, only the Spartans remained to battle on the last day. But in real life, along with the Spartans, remained the Thespians and the Thebans, making their numbers around 600 to 700. While Leonidas was at war with the Persians, his wife was trying to console the council in allowing her husband to not go to prison. On this final day, the third day of the battle, the Greeks finally lost to the Persians. But not without successfully killing over millions to their small amount. Not even 3 months later, a new army of over 30,000 Greeks went up against the Persian army once again and defeated the 20 million with 30,000. Thank you for watching this video. If you learned anything, well then, I made you learn something. Okay, that's plain and simple. All the resources are in the description below, and peace.